So we will today start with Mahakali Dhyanam, that for Mangala Charan. Instead of our usual mantra, we will chant the Mahakali Dhyanam, which is in the Chandi. As we have said that the first adhyaya of the Chandi is about Mahakali Charitram, as it is told. So please repeat after me. Om Khadgam Chakra Gadeshu Chapa Paridhan Shulam Bhushundim Shira Shankham Sandadatim Karai Strinayanam Sarvanga Bhusha Vritam Yam Hantum Madhukaitabhau Jalaja Bhutastushtava Supte Harau Neelashma Dhyutim Asya Pada Dashakam Seve Mahakalikam. So I take refuge in Mahakali, who has 10 faces, 10 legs, and holds in her hands the sword, disc, mace, arrows, bow, club, spear, missile, a human head and conch, who is three-eyed, adorned with ornaments on all her limbs, and luminous like a blue jewel, and whom Brahma extolled in order to destroy Madhu and Kaitava when Vishnu was in his mystic sleep. So this is the meditation on Mahakali. And as you know, today we will discuss the Devī Suktam. So Devī Suktam is a part of the Vedas. So it is, as we know, we have seen in the retreat that they are all revealed words. And the Vedas are the supreme authority. So this Suktam is one of the very few, maybe the only one, I'm not sure, hymns about the Divine Mother. Durga Suktam is also there, of course, but I don't know, I've forgotten from where it is taken, which is a part of the Vedas. So, Ṛgveda 10.125. So it is one of the most profound hymns of the Ṛgveda. You can also say most soul-stirring hymns, as it is not merely about a hymn, it is not merely a hymn about the goddess. Generally all hymns are about the goddess. Here what is the speciality? Here goddess herself is chanting this hymn. It is her words. So it is the revelation of the divine consciousness in the first person. Unlike most hymns where rishis and saints offer their praise to the deity, they praise the deity, here the seer herself becomes the seen. S-E-E-N, seen. The voice of revelation arises not from a human being addressed to God, but from God revealing herself as all beings. This is the speciality. So you know that many of the hymns of the Vedas are associated with rishis. Actually, they are all associated with rishis because they are the revelations had by rishis. So we have seen all that. But naturally, some hymns we don't know who the rishi is. But here we know because it is by the goddess herself. So rishi is Vak Ambrini, a woman seer of profound realization. Her name itself, Vak. Vak means speech or word. Hints at her identity with the primordial power of expression, the creative word of the Absolute. So when she utters these verses, it is no longer the limited individual that speaks. It is not a human being. God is speaking through the human being. So it is the cosmic mother, Vak Shakti, who declares the first verse, many of you know, Aham Rudrebhi Vasubhischa Charami, Aham Adityer Uta Vishwadevai. I move with the Rudras, the Vasus, the Adityas, and all the gods. So those who have read this hymn must have noted one thing. Each mantra begins with Aham, I. But this is not the ego's I, like what we say, I am such and such. It is the universal I, the voice of that one consciousness that pervades and animates everything. That is the I behind all these small I's. So in this wonderful hymn, the Divine Mother reveals herself as the power of creation, preservation, dissolution, the very energy of the Supreme Reality Brahman, and the intelligence that operates through gods, sages, all the beings. The inner self that breathes, sees, and hears in every one. So all these are one verse by one verse we will see. The grace bestowing Shakti, who confers both worldly welfare, that is called Abhyuday, and final liberation called Nishreyasa. So here the uniqueness is that it is not the worship of another. It is the self-declaration of a seer who has become identical with the Devi in that supreme state of realization. So in the present day, this sukta is popularly chanted during the worship of the Devi. So in Bengal, every home you will see this Chandi and this sukta being chanted, especially during this time. And also in various Vedic sacrificial ceremonies, Homa, Havana, etc., it is also chanted at the end of Chandi. After chanting the Chandi, this is chanted sometimes. The origins of Shaktism may be traced, all these they are originating in the Vedas. So, the origin of Tantric Shaktism can also be traced to this Devī Sūktam, also called Vagam Brini Sukta, because according to the name of that sage, female seer. So this hymn depicts Vak as the supreme power governing various deities. We will see all that. So it encapsulates key monotheistic ideas, forming the basis of what we know as Shaktism today. Shakta means, worship of Shakti. So those who worship that as the supreme reality. This must be understood. This people, when we don't understand this, those who are not in this tradition, then they say Hindus worship many gods and goddesses, but they don't realize that we all worship that one reality through different names and forms. That is the thing we have to understand. So who is a Vaishnava? Who worships Vishnu as the supreme reality? Who is a Shaiva? Who worships Shiva as the supreme reality? This basic thing, of course, most of you know. So today we cannot finish it because if we go into a little detail, it will take some time. So whatever we can do, we will do. So just to inform you, what are the sources of this discussion? First source is, you better sit somewhere there because people I cannot see behind because you are very tall. So, as we have told that this is a part of the Vedas. So before also I have told that there has been only one commentator on the Vedas as a whole. I think most of you have forgotten it.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Make great progress. That commentator is Sayanacharya. He is the only one. Others have commented on some specific portions, like Upanishads, many commentators are there. But as the whole of the Vedas, even the ritualistic part. So luckily means through tradition, it is the great tradition of this Indian tradition that they have preserved each and every word of the Veda as it is. And therefore, we also have the commentary of Sayanacharya. That is in original Sanskrit, but when I was studying it, I found that surprisingly, that Sanskrit is not difficult at all. So that is the first source. And it has been elaborated by, there is a book in Bengali which has been translated in Hindi also, but that translation is not at all good. So that book is the most detailed explanation of Durga Saptashati or Chandi. And the name of that book is Sadhan Samar. Samar means battle. So this is a battle between good and evil, no? Devi versus evil symbolized by Mahishasura. So he is treating it as a sadhana, the whole thing. And that is true also, because all these things depict the inner battle which is going on within each human being. So he has called it Sadhan Samar. So the explanation given in the Sadhan Samar of this hymn matches a great deal with the Sayanacharya's commentary. That is the basis. But he has also given his own commentary, which is also very nice. So I have combined those two. So we can start with the introduction, which is given in the book Sadhan Samar. He himself was a great sadhak, very great spiritual personality, it is obvious. So as an introduction, he says, "Hear, O children of immortality across the worlds, O beloved ones, cherished by divine love, why do you remain shrouded in the dense fog of falsehood and ignorance, tormented by dreams of sorrow and helplessness? Why again and again do you suffer the blows of birth and death, the piercing pain of illness, grief, and regret? Why do you reel in the whirlpool of restlessness, broken and disheartened, sighing with despair? Come running, my children." So this the Divine Mother is calling us. What does she say next? Behold, I have opened wide my vast heart for you. With arms outstretched, I call you. Call me Mother once. Let the nectar-laced cry from your throat reach me, and I shall forget myself, forget all separation out of love. I will pour the elixir of immortality into your scorched hearts, and you shall become immortal. That is why I call out with a free and open voice, come, my child, open your eyes and see me. How long will you remain impoverished? See, not for a moment have I set you down from my lap. There is no sorrow, no suffering, no birth or death, no despair or pain when you come to me. Listen, the victory of truth resounds. The radiant light of the realm of truth illumines the horizons. The sky echoes with the honeyed call of the Divine Mother. The earth awakens, shedding its inertia in response to the life-giving summons of truth. The oceans surge with the sound of truth. The winds ripple with its force. The ether is filled with the sacred vibrations of the primal sound. Will you still sleep? Will you still smear your face with the soot of falsehood and suffer the nightmares of despair? No, my child. Come, rise and turn your face towards me. I have waited for you through ages upon ages. Let the stream of immortal nectar bathe you. Immerse yourself in the pure waters of peace and bliss. Abide forever with your mother. Attain the Brahmic state and become immortal. So then he describes what is the essence of the Devī Sukta. The essence is, first, who am I? To know the true nature of our own inner self. And what is the answer given? The answer given is complete what is called Tadatmya. Tadatmya is perfect oneness with God, with the Supreme Being, whose nature is, we know, Sat Chit Ananda. So this revelation is what we know as the Devī Sukta. There are only 8 mantras, and it is said to form the original nucleus of the whole Devi Mahatmya, Chandi. So it is said that the concept here in seed form has been elaborated in the Chandi. Symbolic narration, Chandi may be said to be, of the supreme truth expressed in the Devī Sukta. And since it is a part of Vedas, it is not a product of any human being. It is a spontaneous realization of a seer who is Apta Kama. Apta Kama means whose all desires have been fulfilled by knowledge of the Supreme Reality. And since it is a part of the Vedas, it is Brahm Pramad Rahita. There is no scope of error or delusion as we have in the retreat we have discussed. There is no scope of any kind of error or delusion among the statements of the Vedas which relate to eternal entities. So even when the same truth is later expressed in the words of another sage in the Chandi, both the knowledge and the feeling that shine through those words, they are eternal and impersonal. And the subject, of course, we have already told, subject is the supreme reality, the absolute self. From the standpoint of scriptural reasoning and philosophical discourse, we will see that the great illusion, what is called Maya, is sometimes, even just to make us understand, it is sometimes said to be distinct from the self. But Sri Ramakrishna has told again and again that Maya is another name for the power of God. And a person and his powers cannot be separated. They are one. Ātman and Maya are one and the same reality viewed from different standpoints. So as long as we are in this world, when we see all this, when we see duality, Sri Ramakrishna has said, it is the Divine Mother who is governing us. She is behind all our actions. We are all under her jurisdiction, so to say. But we have to understand that the Divine Mother is the supreme reality only looked at from another angle. That is all. So therefore, though the Supreme Brahman is the ultimate subject of the Devī Sukta also, the same reality is portrayed in the Chandi as Mahamaya, the Divine Mother of the universe. This should be clearly understood. So the goddess herself declares that I am she, that supreme power. And to know me, the Divine Mother, is also to realize the self. There is no difference. So these three, knowing the self, knowing the Divine Mother, and realizing Brahman, are one and the same realization. And that I, which is Aham in this Sukta, which shines in the Devī Sukta, is that very Mahamaya, which is being worshipped in the Chandi. The self of the Devī Sukta, that Aham, is nothing but the Divine Mother, which is being praised in the Chandi. So this much for the introduction. Now we can go to the actual text. So let us start with the first mantra. I have made the slides. I mean, most of the words are names of gods, smaller deities. So that is Rudra, Vasu, Aditya, Vishwadeva, Mitra, Varuna, Indra, Ashwin. So it becomes simple. So Aham Rudraicha Vasubhicha Charami. Charami means I move with the Rudras and the Vasus. Then Aham Adityahi Uta Vishwadevahi. I also move with the Adityas and all the gods. Then Aham Mitra Varuna. Since two are mentioned, it is Au. So I uphold both Mitra and Varuna. Vibharmi means uphold, sustain. And Indragni Aham. Same, I also uphold Indra and Agni. And Ashwino Ubhav. Ashwini Kumar. So it is two. I uphold both. So this is the simple meaning, but of course we have to go to the commentary to understand. So naturally, since it is in Sanskrit, we cannot avoid Sanskrit. But of course, translations is there, so it should be no problem. And the Sanskrit is not very difficult. So I will first quote the original commentary of Sayanacharya. Not all portions, some portions which are just grammatical Sanskrit grammar we need not discuss, but all the relevant portions. And then we will not only see the literal translation but also a little detail. So Aham, who is Aham? Aham Suktasya Drashtri Vak Ambrini. See, these things you cannot know without commentary. So when you say Aham, when it is saying Aham, who is that Aham? Suktasya, in this Sukta. Sukta means him. I am the Sukta, the Drashtri, the seer, mentioned in the Sukta. Who is that seer? Vak Ambrini. I, Vak Ambrini, am the seer, Drashtri of this hymn. I am speech, the conscious principle. So she is not merely the speaker of the mantra, but the embodied consciousness that is identified with the Supreme Reality. The commentary says, who is that? Who is speaking? Yat Brahma Jagat Karanam Tad Rupa Bhavanti. I exist as that very Brahman, the cause of the universe. Thus, the Devi identifies herself not as a limited individual, but as the dynamic aspect of Brahman, which is Jagat Karanam, the universal cause. She is the cause of everything. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, creation, preservation, destruction. Please put your mobile on silent. So, Rudre bhi. Rudre Ekadasha bhi. How many Rudras are there? Ekadasha. Ekadasha means 11. Tad Rupa Bhavanti. I exist as that very Brahman. With the Rudras, the 11 Rudras, I move. Vasubhi Charami, the same. I move. I move means what? She manifests as the life principle within the 11 Rudras. So what does the 11 Rudras stand for? The 5 organs of action, the 5 organs of knowledge, and the mind. Means our whole psychophysical being. Organs of action, hand, legs, etc. Organs of knowledge, ear, nose, all these things. So they are poetically called Rudras. And of course, we will skip the grammatical portion. And Tad Ātmana Charami. I move as their very self. Here Charami signifies the activity of Brahman manifesting through the various deities and powers of the cosmos. Evam Vasubhi Ityadi Tat Atmana Charami. Same Charami is to be put with other deities also, Vasubhi, etc. In the same way, with the Vasus and others, I act in their forms also. So same thing which is good for the Rudras holds true for all the deities, Vasus, Adityas, Mitra, Varuna, etc. Tatha Mitra Varuna Mitram cha Varunam cha. I am similarly Mitra and also Varuna. So both the principles of order and dissolution, of virtue and vice, are her manifestations. So these indicate dualities: good, bad, creation, destruction. So she says, actually, I am the power behind everything. Ubha, it is said here. Ubha is actually Ubhau, both. Aham eva Brahmi Bhuta Vibharmi. Vibharmi means what? He explains Dharayami. I alone, having become one with Brahman, sustain both of them. Good, bad, creation, destruction, happiness, misery, everything. So, Ashwins, there are two. So, all these represent the duality. This reflects the Advaitic insight. All pairs of opposite, Dvandva, the source is one. There is no different bad person. Like in Christianity, it is a different. Satan, he is the bad. God is all good. But then we say that if God is only good, not the bad, then you are limiting God. God is the power behind every action. So, Indra Agni api aham eva dharayami. I alone uphold both Indra and Agni. I sustain them also. So here Indra denotes pleasure. Indra is the king of heaven. So he is always engaged in enjoyment. And Agni represents pain. So pleasure and pain, duality. Because Agni is often associated with burning. So both good and enjoyment as well as pain, they both exist because of the one same universal consciousness. And Ashwino api aham eva dharayami. I also sustain both the Ashwins also. So here Ashwins represent what? Prana and Apana. Breathing in, breathing out, like that. Again, this same function will be mentioned in another verse also. And last of all he says, Sayanacharya, Maihi sarvam jagat shuktau rajatam iva adhyastam sadrishyate. He is gone to complete Advaitic view. What does he say? Sarvam jagat shuktau rajatam. So the whole universe, Jagat, is what? Adhyastam. It is a superimposition. Like snake in a rope, we often say. So he says all this universe which appears real is actually just a superimposition upon that reality. Maihi, on that reality itself. The reality is speaking. So it is saying upon me. The whole world is nothing but a superimposition. As a snake is superimposed in a rope, means it has no absolute reality. Maya hi jagat karena vivartate. The patha is maybe Maya cha jagat karena vivartate. So Maya takes the form of the world through vivarta. Vivarta means apparent transformation. It seems God has changed into the world, but He has not really changed. So Maya projects the appearance of multiplicity without altering the reality of the substratum. So snake is seen on a rope. Does that snake change the nature of the rope? It cannot. Similarly, this duality what we see cannot change the nature of the eternal reality. And tadrishya mayaya adharatvena asangasya api brahmana uktasya sarvasya utpatti. So being the substratum of such maya, even the unattached Brahman becomes the cause of the entire manifested universe. Brahman is actually pure, actionless, completely unattached. But till we are in this superimposition, till we are seeing the world, you have to explain it. What is the explanation? There is only one thing which is the cause. Without the rope, the snake cannot exist. The illusory snake, can it exist without the rope as the substratum? No. Similarly, this universe of multiplicity cannot exist if God or Brahman is not there as a substratum. So in that way, Brahman is the source of this whole universe. But till we are here, this is completely real to us. This creation is completely real. Till it is real, we have to admit that the personal God, the Divine Mother, the Shakti of God, has created this entire universe. She is sustaining it and she is also destroying it. This is the meaning of the first mantra. So Sayanacharya interprets the Devi's utterance as the speech of consciousness itself. I am Brahman, that becomes all gods and power. And we have seen all dualities also rest in me. She is sustaining all pairs of opposites, Mitra Varuna, Indra Agni, Ashwins, which stands for dual poles of existence. We have seen virtue, vice, pleasure, pain, inhalation, exhalation. So the whole world is a superimposition upon me. Through Maya, the unchanging Brahman seems to become the changing universe. So the first mantra is a proclamation. The Devi is not just another deity. It is not a part, it is not a fragment, but the all-pervading Shakti. She is the current that flows through every god, every force, every being. So when we are chanting Aham Rudrevi Vasubhis Charami, we are affirming, O Mother, you are the power in even the gods who are supposed to be protecting us. Actually, it is you who are protecting us through them. You are the only nourisher. You are the only guide. Without you, nothing can act. This is the meaning, and we have gone into a little detail also. Next, we will see the second mantra. So this took time because this forms the basis. After that, she is just repeating the same idea, taking different examples. That is the thing. So this is the second mantra. So again, you can please repeat after me. I will break up the sandhi. So aham somam ahanasam bibharmi aham tvashtaram utapushanam bhagam cha aham dadhami dravinam havishmate supravye yajamanaya sunvate. So again, see, the same idea is expressed. Soma. Soma was something which is used in the sacrifices, but nobody knows what that soma plant is now. Nobody can tell this is the soma. But it is mentioned in the sacrifices again and again. So I sustain soma. Ahanasam. Vibharmi. Vibharmi means again sustain. I also sustain Tvashtri, Pushan and Bhaga. And Aham Dadhami Dravinam. So Abaji, Dravinam, your favorite. I bestow riches upon the sacrificer. Havishmate Supravye. Yajamanaya Sunvate. So Yajamana is the sacrificer. And upon I bestow riches upon the sacrificer, also upon the one who pours the soma with right devotion. So maybe it is the same thing, sacrificer himself. This is the basic translation. So now let us go to the commentary. So ahanasam, ahantavyam abhishotavyam soma. So we don't know the rituals here. What it is said is soma is supposed to be pressed. Ahantavya. It's maybe pressed, maybe some kind of juice would come out. That would be used in the sacrifice. So he says, ahantavyam abhishotavyam. That is to be, meaning is purified by pouring. That is the meaning of the word abhishotavya. So that is the soma. Another interpretation is that yadva, or it may also mean what? Shatrunam ahantaram. The soma which strikes down enemies. That soma that abides in heaven. Divi vartamanam devatmanam soma, which is divine in essence. So all these different meanings are there. Aham cha vibharmi. I uphold and bear that soma. So here same thing is said. Vak identifies herself as the sustaining power behind even the soma deity. Ritualistic and cosmic, soma both. Next comes Tvashtaram. Tatha Tvashtaram Uta apicha Pushanam Bhagam Cha Aham Eva Vibharmi. So like soma, likewise Tvashtri, the divine craftsman, Vishwakarma. Then Pushan. Pushan means Poshayati, so nourisher. And Bhaga, again the bestower of fortune. I alone support and uphold all these deities. So Bhaga has many meanings. Bhaga, the great Shankaracharya has told that Bhaga means the word Bhagavan. How does it come? Buddhiman. Buddhiman means what? One who has buddhi, one who has intelligence. So Bhagavan means one who has Bhaga. So what is Bhaga here? All the 6 divine qualities. In full measure, infinite. That is called Bhagavan, one who has that Bhaga. तथा हविष्मते हविभिर हविभिर्यक्ताय सुप्राव्ये शोभनम हवि देवानाम प्रापयित्रे. So Havishmate, likewise I support the Havishmat, Havi offering. I support that also. So here the context is what? The sacrifice. Everything is pertaining to these Vedic sacrifices. First the Soma was said. Now what is poured? The offering. Shobhanam. Shobhanam means pure. So that which is pure, well prepared, is offered to gods by the sacrificer. I also support that. That is the Sunvate Soma Visharva Kurvate. So again it goes back to the Soma. They perform the Soma pressing. It belongs to the same ritual. And which will interest all of you. Idrishaya Yajamanaya, for such a sacrificer, I also give Dravinam. Dravinam means Dhanam. So for such a sacrificer, I myself bestow and sustain his Dravina, the wealth. What is the wealth here? The fruit of the sacrifice. That is the thing. So, Idrishaya Yajamanaya, for such a sacrificer who worships me with devotion, Dravinam Dhanam. What is Dhanam? Yaga Phala Rupam, which is the result of that sacrifice. Aham Eva Dadhami. I give. I dharayami, I sustain. Means what? The fruits of the sacrifice, of the Vedic sacrifices, are all upheld by me. That is the thing. So, last sentence of this commentary in the second verse is, he says, Etatcha Brahmana Phala Datritvam. So who is giving all the fruits of our actions? He says, we are all doing something with any karma is done with a motive. Till we are in ignorance, we cannot be rid of motives. Unless you are only a very highly evolved person, spiritually, he does everything as worship to God. And of course, illumined person. But ordinary people like us, whatever we do, there has to be some motive, good or bad. So we want something when we do something. So who's giving that? Brahmana, the Supreme Brahman, Divine Mother. She is only giving that. Phala Datritvam. Phala means fruit. She is the giver of the fruit. This is what is said. So here it is an interesting thing that it seems he is quoting Shankaracharya also. He is telling that why in support he quotes Shankaracharya. He quotes Shankaracharya's commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. So with great respect he says, Bhagavata Bhashyakarena Samarthitam. So he says, I am not saying, but Bhashyakara. Out of reverence, they don't even take his name. The great commentator, he has said. So what is the summary of the meaning in this verse and commentary? Sayana presents Vak as the manifest functional form of Brahman, who upholds all the deities Soma, Twashtri, Pushan, Bhaga as their own expressions. Then carries and conveys the oblations to the gods. In the sacrifices, what you give, The gods are getting that. If the gods don't get that, why will they give you anything? That is the thing. The smaller gods are all getting that. So it not only carries that offering to the gods, but also the fruits it will carry to the sacrificers.
Give and take?
Yes, it is give and take. Naturally, it is give and take. Because if you are doing with a motive, you want something, no? Give and take or not depends on the individual. That is the thing. If you want something, you will get something. If you want only good, that will not happen. But along with that, if there is action, there has to be reaction. That is the thing. So thus, while Vak speaks as I am the support of all gods, Sayanacharya interprets this as the speech aspect of Brahman, expressing its immanence in every ritualistic function also. So all anything connected with the sacrifices, that Supreme Brahman is the inner power. Some other interpretations are also given that Soma here means delight, inspiration, bliss. So Divine Mother is said to be the divine joy in all the beings. And Tvashtri, we have already seen, the cosmic craftsman. She is that creative intelligence, shaping all the forms. Pushan, nourisher. She is the sustaining life force that guides and protects. And Bhaga, Lord of fortune, auspiciousness. So, Dravinam, here wealth can also mean spiritual wealth, not only material wealth. It depends on what we want. So, the verse expands her identity, not as only as the power moving within the gods. So, in the first verse, she is the power moving within the gods. Now there is expansion. She is also the energy which nourishes, which blesses, the Mahashakti behind all divine functions. To say I uphold Soma, Tvashtri, Pushan, Bhaga is to declare all functions of bliss, creation, nourishment and fortune are from me only. There is no other source. So since the same idea is repeated, I think we can also finish number 3 today. So here there is not many sandhis, so it is simple. So still you can repeat. Aham Rashtri Sangamani Vasunam Chikitushi Prathama Yagyanam Tam Ma Vyadadhu Tamam Deva Vyadadhu Purutra Bhuristhatram Bhurya Veshayantim. So this is a sandhi. Bhuri Sthatram. Let me check, because this is Vedic Sanskrit. We will come to that later when we see the detail. But Bhuri Aveshayantim, this I remember. So we will see all that. So just for the translation first. Aham Rashtri Sangamani, I am the sovereign queen. The gatherer of treasures or the gatherer of vasus. The conscious one, the illumined one, Chikitushi. And Prathama Yajnanam, I am the foremost among those who should be worshipped. Tamma Deva Vedadhu. So the gods have assigned me many places of abode. And Bhuristatram Bhurya Veshayantim. So Aveshayantim is to enter, pervade. So I dwell amongst everything and pervade all beings. That is the simple meaning. Again we have to go to the commentary. Aham Rashtri. What does Rashtri mean? Rashtri means one who governs the Rashtra. Rashtra means, the kingdom. So here it means the whole universe, the whole cosmos. So Aham Rashtri, I am the governing power. And commentary is wonderful. Sarvasya Jagata Ishwari, the sovereign power behind the entire universe. See what simple Sanskrit he has used. I am the universal queen, cosmic sovereign, the inner ruler of all beings, the organizing intelligence behind the whole Rashtra, which is the cosmos. Okay. Sangamani Vasunam. Now Vasu here again means Dhananam, of the Dhana. Dhana also here means spiritual wealth as material wealth. Sangamani means gatherer. So both material wealth and spiritual wealth, the outer and the inner, arise from me only. Same thing is said. And here she says, Upasakanam Prapayitri. So Upasakanam, those who worship me with a motive. Suppose I worship the Divine Mother for a desire of wealth. So she says, Prapayitri, I am the one who gives it to them. That is the thing. So I am the bestower of all kinds of riches. The gatherer of all the riches means what? Here bestower, she is giving everything. Because she unites and directs every kind of wealth, energy, etc. in creation. So Vasu, there is another meaning, it also may mean the luminous beings. But the generally accepted interpretation is this, because this is the Sayanacharya's interpretation. And the highest, now she mentions the highest, Chikitushi. I am the Chikitushi, means what? Chikitushi means, comes from Chit, the Sat Chit Ananda of Brahman, supreme knowledge. So when she says, I am Chikitushi, means what? Yat Sakshat Kartavyam Param Brahma. The aim of human life is to realize that Parabrahma, Sakshat Kartavyam. Taj Gyatavati. I am the one who knows that. And knows it as what? Not that Brahman will come in front of me as a separate ye. I know Brahman as what? Swatmataya. Sakshat Kritavati. I directly know her as the very self, which is directly known, Sakshat. Like we had discussed in the last discussion, all the objects in the world, they are known indirectly. Is it not? This book, my eyes will come first.
Yeah.
Eyes will send the message to the mind.
Right.
Mind will present it to the self. So everything is indirectly. This is, you only know one thing directly, your own inner self. That is the thing. So, I know the Supreme Reality as what? As indifferent from my real self. Prathama Yajnanam. So we have already seen the meaning. I am the Prathama, the foremost. Can't you shut it off? So, foremost means among whom? Those who are worthy of worship. There are so many gods and goddesses worthy of worship. But I am the supreme because I am the power behind them also. So, Yajnarhana means one who is worthy of worship. I am the Prathama. Prathama means Mukhya. See, very simply is explained. I am the principal one. I am the first cause, the primal deity. So naturally, in the Mahabharata it is there. You remember the story? That when Yudhishthira was performing the yajna, first whom he will worship? That was the question. Who is worthy of worship amongst all those? All the great people are there. Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Vidura, all these were element people. Vidura and all, they are supposed to be. So who is supposed to be worshipped first? Krishna was also there. So those who were sages like Bhishma and all, they said when Krishna is there, how can you even ask such a question? He is the supreme God. So then one person objected and he was liberated by Krishna. Yeah. Who objected? She knows. Ankur?
Shishupal.
Yeah, Shishupal objected. So, although Ankur never breaks the record, but he's still there. So, Tam Ma Deva Vedadhu. Vedadhu is there in the original verse. Vedadhu means Vidadhati Kurvanti. In numerous ways, the literal, what does it mean literally? In numerous ways, in many regions, the gods distribute and manifest me. So now this literal will seem strange. How can the gods distribute the Divine Mother? So actual meaning we have to see. This means that the various deities are only different channels through which her power operates. That is the meaning. So wherever there is a divine action, any action for that matter, she is working through everything. So when we say that the gods distribute me, when it is said, means the gods as it were have assigned me these functions. Means what? The various cosmic forces are only her limbs. They are in name only, they are just the channel. But the actual power which is flowing is coming from her, like this electricity. So all this is manifesting as bulb and all. The power is coming from BC Hydro. That is the main thing. So here also. So to put it another way, the gods have established me in many places in manifold forms. So I abide in countless modes. Pervade everything. This is the meaning. And just last it is, we have seen Purutra, Bhuristhatram. So, Purutra means what? Again, commentary is very simple. Bahushu Desheshu. In many places. Means she is everywhere. That is the thing. And what I was not sure about, Bhuristhatram. So this has three. Bhuri plus tha plus tram. Bhuri means many. Stha means to stay, to abide. And tra is the feminine suffix. So it means one who abides in many forms, dwelling in many places. So, I, possessed of these divine qualities, am the one established in countless forms throughout the universe. And last of all, Bhurya Veshayanti. Bhuri, Bhurini, innumerable forms. Bahuni Bhuta Jatani means all the living beings. Aveshayanti. So I have entered them means what? They are all animated by my energy alone, the power of consciousness. So Bhuri Statram, abiding in many forms, Bhuri Aveshantim, I enter into many forms. Many forms mean in everything. So she is immanent and also transcendent. Transcendent as the Supreme Brahman, but also in every pore of the creation. She is there. Nothing else actually exists. So I think we can stop here. If you want, we can complete this thing later. So let us stop here. Then we can sing the song which denotes this. And since some Ankur and all don't know that song, they will also learn that Shakali Tumari Ichha, it conveys the meaning wonderfully, what we have discussed. So let us stop here. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Namaste.